This is going to be really, really good.
Welcome to Queen's Alchemy. And you know I'm Noreen, I'm the queen. And today I'm going to be creating this dish where I put together some ingredients kind of on the fly, just knowing what I want it to look like and what I want it to come out as. It's going to be stuffed cabbage leaves. So come on with me as we're going to put this meal together and let's find out how it turns out. Let's go.
So I decided to just only use vegetable broth because I'm just steaming the leaves on the cabbage. So just going to use the vegetable broth to do that. And then once it's done for about 10 minutes, just to kind of steam the first layer of cabbage leaves. I mean, each leaf will be a cabbage roll. And I just cut off the leaves here. There we go. Let's go. So we chopped up the garlic. I use a yellow onion. I like to use the sweet onions. Gives it a nice flavor. Just slice up my onions like so. Just roughly chop them up. They don't have to be perfectly diced. Okay, so you rinse and brush out your mushrooms. I use Portobello and Shiitake mushrooms. Meaty texture to it. So I use Shiitake. I rinse all my mushrooms, usually overnight. Some before I'm going to use them and let them dry out overnight in the fridge so they're not rubbery. Now I have all the mushrooms roughly chopped, mixed together. This is about, I'm going to bring the container over that I had. It's about 2 of these, 1 Shiitake, 1 Portobello. I'm going to season this up. I like to season my mushrooms. One of my favorite things to use on everything, even though it's definitely a vegetable seasoning, is Sazon. So I'm going to put a little Sazon in there, move it around. I don't have any like measurements, but if I were to measure it, I would say a tablespoon. Garlic powder, same thing. I would use a tablespoon of garlic powder in this. Toss it around. This way, when I put it into the skillet to saute it with the onions and garlic and peppers, then it'll have seasoning in it already, which I'm a big on seasoning. So this is onion powder. Again, a tablespoon. I would probably use of this in here as well. And again, I just kind of move it around. And then I'm going to use probably a teaspoon of basil. A teaspoon of basil. I'm going to again toss this around. It doesn't come out as quickly out of the holes, so it may seem like I'm using a little bit more than a teaspoon, but I'm not. The basil doesn't come out as quickly as the other seasonings do. All right. And I just want you to tell you that it smells delicious, absolutely delicious. I'm going to use a teaspoon of oregano as well. Love oregano, especially in dishes that have the tomato sauce in it. Smoked paprika. Smoked paprika. I would use a tablespoon of this. Smoked paprika. Alright, and just a little salt. Not a lot, just a sprinkle. And these are the same seasonings I'm going to put into the full mixture that I make, and a little bit of thyme. And that would be probably a teaspoon of thyme as well. It comes out a little slower too, as you can see here. So I'll probably use a teaspoon of thyme as well. And with that, and then I just set it to the side, let it marinate in for a little bit. And I'm going to roughly chop these up here. Nothing major about that, just a rough chop, not something, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to, like I said, roughly chopping them up. Nothing major with it. And this is going to be in there when I saute the peppers, onions, garlic, and mushrooms. In this pan here, we're going to add a little, this is a little of grapeseed oil. So now I'm going to add in my onions. Saute those around. I like to let them get a little translucent. Now I'm going to toss in my garlic. Let it begin to cook in together with the onions. It smells so good. And now I'm going to be adding in the red and yellow peppers. Let them begin to cook down as well. In between each item, it probably was about 3 to 4 minutes that I allowed before I added another item. I'm going to go ahead and add in these mushrooms. That we seasoned up and set to the side. Add them in. I'm going to stir it around like so. And I usually let my mushrooms, depends, but I let them cook probably about 10 minutes. This is just about done cooking down. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the spinach, because you do need spinach. So I've washed the spinach here, and I'm going to add it into the skillet. It's actually, I'm going to put probably about 2.5 handfuls of spinach in here, like so. Just begin to mix it in together so that it cooks down. You want the spinach to get soft as well, so it cooks down. I'm going to let the spinach cook down for about 2 minutes. So I've rinsed my rice. I'm going to be adding it to my pot. This is brown rice that I cooked. I'm going to add it in. And you kind of just, make a decision on how how much rice you want to add. I typically don't add a lot because I actually serve it over rice as well. And there we go. And that's the filler. So I got these stewed tomatoes here. A little something. I'm a big tomato person. I like tomatoes. But I like my vegetables all together. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in like so. I added them all together in a bowl here. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that in there. It's everything that I mentioned before. It'll be a description. All the ingredients will be in the description. Oh, yes. Yes. Come on. Come through. Yes. I hear people use chef's kiss all the time. Well, I don't proclaim to be a chef, but I definitely know that this here is going to be delicious. I might add some more rice. I'm not sure. I typically create things myself. So I made this up as I go along. I created this based on what I thought I wanted to taste in my food and what I wanted it to look like. And visually, it's satisfying. I'm going to put a little bit of the just in there so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan while it's cooking together. There we go. And put the rest of these stewed tomatoes in there too. So I'm using a glass dish. When I roll up the cabbage rolls, I just set them on this, and this is what they'll bake in, the sauce. All right, and I'll leave a little bit to drizzle across the top. There we go. So fill this with the filling. Like so. Then we're going to take it and we're going to roll it. I'm going roll it like that. I think I should put some more in there. There we go. Now, roll it. There we go. Now we're talking. And there you are. And here is the cabbage rolls in the glass dish with the tomato sauce on the bottom and the tomato sauce drizzled across the top. I also sprinkle a little garlic powder over the top of these as well. They look delicious. To put it in the oven to bake for about 15 minutes. There you go. Woo. Looks good. Looks good. Delicious. And I took the liberty of using the leftovers that I had and made just open-faced cabbage with the stuff in it and the cabbage leaves that were left over. And we're getting ready to plate it and taste it. I decided to put some rice onto the plate. I'll put one right there. And put the other right there. We'll drizzle some salsa all over that, like so. Can't wait to taste it. There it is. Cabbage rolls over rice, vegan style. It's gonna be delicious. So let's see what it tastes like. Looks delicious. I think it's gonna taste delicious. It was pretty simple to make. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some pieces for myself here. We're going to try this out. See what it tastes like. It's really good. You can taste all the flavors in there. The oregano, the thyme, perfect. Seasoned to perfection, if I do say so myself. If you are to try this recipe, let me know in the comment section, or if you have your own version of this stuffed cabbage, share it in the comment section. And thank you for watching. Check out my next video. I'll see you there.